Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BEYOU Oracle Cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. If you have tuned in to this week's energy forecast for July the 19th through to July the 25th, the overall theme for this week is all of the answers are within. Now, as I mentioned, with you tuning in, there is something within you that has intuitively guided you to come to receive this message about the energy that is about to unfold through the week and learn how to be able to navigate and have a deeper understanding as to why certain energies, what's the message behind it, what's our lesson. Each and every one of those answers helps you to be able to develop a deeper understanding around yourself and to also learn, well, if this energy is what is presenting, what are my options? How is it that I can work with this energy so that I can receive the most optimal amount of divine guidance to help support me through this time? So let's go in and have a look at this week's cards. Monday and Tuesday is the card of Soul. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of Speak Your Truth. And the weekend's message is Clairvoyance. Now, at the beginning of the week, it is around soul, about connecting to what you're passionate about, where your intuition is guiding you. Well, the reason behind that is that the more that you do things that you are deeply passionate about, or that they really resonate with you, allows you to bypass that human mind and step into your intuitive soulful self. And there is where you unlock so many answers that you've been seeking. The last couple of weeks has had some rather intense energies, and this week's going to be no different because we're leading towards another full moon. A full moon, what that does is it brings things to the surface, and you may have found that that's already began over the last couple of weeks. Stuff coming up to the surface, old stories, old memories that connect you to old versions of self. And this week, you've probably been wondering, what do I do here? How do I know this stuff is coming up, but how can I choose to deal with this situation differently, especially when you're so emotionally invested and triggered by it? And that is where the Soul's card comes in. When you're doing things that you're passionate, what that does is it bypasses all of that human logic and rational and the way in which you've been trying to address those old experiences, and allows you to connect so intently with that intuitive soulful self that will guide you on what is the best way in which to be able to address your past experiences so that you leave that experience knowing that you have addressed it in the most soulful way, the way that leaves you feeling really proud and good of yourself, but also supports you while you also address doing things differently. Because when we do things differently, it always feels a little bit clunky and a little bit unnatural, and it's so easy to be triggered by that and go back to the old ways in which you do it. This week your soul was saying connect in with your soul, listen to those beautiful soulful whispers that are guiding you every single step of the way. Connect back into the things that you're so deeply passionate about, because as this week's message is about all the answers you seek are within. They're within you, and yet looking externally is not going to help you to be able to find those answers. If anything, what is being revealed back to you is only a mirror image of what is the internal disruption that is going on within you. So we do these perpetual cycles of going around and around and around in circles, doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. And as you know, or if you have not heard before, that's the first sign of insanity. So we want to be able to break that cycle and be able to connect into that beautiful, soulful place that allows you to receive the most infinite wisdom around any experience you've ever had before, presenting you with an opportunity to therefore release it once you understand at a deep core level what it is that is still triggering you. Okay, so that's Monday and Tuesday. Then we move forward through to Wednesday through to Friday, and there will always be an element that your soul reveals to you when you are going within that is all about transparency, self-honesty, reflection, review, giving you the opportunity to see what role you partake in that experience. Are you continuing to hold on to those past pains because it's a way in which that helps you feel like, well, I deserve this? You need to be able to seek in to see if it's that you're not giving yourself permission to forgive yourself. Are you holding those experiences as a way to stop yourself from receiving love? That is what Speak Your Truth is about this Wednesday through to Friday. Speak your truth on what your role is, because it's not up to you to be able to take on the responsibility of every single person that's involved in your past experiences. All you can do is to be able to heal the angle in which you partaked in. And therefore, that is about taking the ownership. And that is what Wednesday through to Friday is about, taking ownership. What role did you play in it? How are you continuing to still hurt and harm yourself due to an experience that happened years ago? And this allows you to step into that place now. Even as I say this, I would make the assumption that there will be some people that will find that as you move through Wednesday through to Friday, that there will be an abundance of tears when we understand what role we played, when we understand how you're continuing to still hurt and harm yourself. It brings up an overwhelming amount of tears of acknowledgement. That true transparency that you're having with yourself can be very overwhelming. And remember, tears are a way in which we get to cleanse ourselves. And it's cleansing the energy of that, cleansing how you're still continuing to hold on to that past pain, thinking that it's, for a reason, without forgetting, without understanding how much it's still continuing to hurt you. Think about that past experience that's coming up and think about how are you still continuing to play out that, but differently in your current world. And therefore that allows you to really dive in deep in a core level, but on a soulful level, to allow you to be able to unlock that intuitive information that could simply come through and say to you, it's time to forgive. It's time to stop the resistance of holding on, thinking you need to continue to punish yourself. And this is the moment to surrender your aspect and your involvement in that experience. This is going to be an incredibly huge week for growth. Those moments that you go, aha, or you're like, bam, all of a sudden something drops into your consciousness from your intuition that then sheds so much light on a past experience. And it's that one key element that you've been looking for that just opens everything up for you to be able to review that experience from a completely different perspective. And then you're like, now I understand. Those huge aha light bulb moments that come up. That's how this week is going to be, and it'll come through in the most subtle ways. So be open to the subtleties, because remember, in the subtleties is where our intuition and our soul communicates to us. Therefore, when we come through to the weekend's message, you're going to be able to see the signs that show up of the inner work that you've done this week, the connection that you've had to yourself, or as you've heard me say, when we are doing so much inner work, it's inner with self, that's you, and this is how we connect with our cosmic team. Our intuition communicates to you from your soul between that human part. And when we develop that deeper understanding around what our lesson is and be able to break those old patterns and cycles and forgive and let go so that you're not dragging the past through into your present situation, when you see the evidence of that inner work that you've done, all of a sudden the universe jumps on board and goes, here you go, honey, I am going to show you how grateful we are that you did this inner work this week and went within and unlocked your own infinite wisdom that is available to you all the time. And we're going to shower you with signs and synchronicities to say, you've surrendered, you've let go, you've forgiven yourself, you're ready to move on. These are all beautiful ways in which the universe comes back. And this is how your cosmic team continues to work with you for your whole lifetime. And remember, The only aspect of self that is judging is that human part. Your soul and the universe and source, they're not judging you, they're supporting you. And with support comes, sometimes you need a little bit of a nudge to get you moving. And it also encourages you to, every time you are letting something go, you are removing layers that have hardened around you, that you've built those armors within you. So the other thing that also comes through really strongly this week is to be more mindful of making sure that you're operating from that feminine aspect within self. The masculine will want to defend, push people away, keep people at a distance. I need my space, and perpetuate the aspect of being able to justify your role in it. Justification only is about ticking off that you're right and other people are wrong. At the end of the day, that's not going to change that situation. But what does change it is by being able to step into that feminine element of being able to go, my soul is saying to me that I have been weighed down by all of this emotional baggage, that it is supporting me to let go. What is the role that I need to play? What is that last piece of information that I require in order to fully surrender and let go of this experience that is continuing to hurt and harm me? And that is the feminine element, is that softness. That's where the tears come in, because it's that aha moment of the tears will roll down. It's like you finally got that last bit of information that's just like, now I fully understand it. And sometimes those tears are in that decision where you put the white flag up and you go, I am just going to let this go because I know how much it's still hurting me. Sometimes, and this is where you're going to have to navigate this week, is do you need to be able to go in and continue to explore? Because if you keep seeing only the same angle and you're not getting a different response, that's where you put the white flag up, bring yourself back to neutral and just go into that space and go, I have reviewed this from so many aspects. Now I'm going to hand it over to the universe and say, I want all of that collective energy that has been attached to that experience, my role within it, and I choose to give all of that over to the universe, knowing that they will take care of all of the healing that requires for all the participants involved. And I'm choosing me and my health and my well-being and my ability to be able to go, you know what? Some things just need to be, I'm done with it, and move on and give that over to the universe and to your soul to do that. All you have to do then is then be in that feminine flow to continue to release it. Keep saying your mantras of thank you, thank you, thank you to the universe and my soulful self for healing this end state, whatever your experience is, and that you will continue to follow the guidance that comes through from your soul and the universe that is leading you back to offering suggestions on what you can do to still stay in that surrendering aspect of self, whilst the universe and your soul takes care of cleaning up all the energy that's been attached to it. So you may find that energy is something that you become very aware of this week. My suggestions with that is cleanse. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. If you're a crystal person, wear crystals that are about surrendering, releasing, and protection. Get out in nature, because as you know, nature is a beautiful way of absorbing energy. Sit out in the sunlight, because the sunlight therefore illuminates the work that you're doing on, and light is how information is transferred through all of our cells. And so therefore you can speed up that communication channel for the cells to communicate, to get on the surrendering, the releasing, and the healing element. So these are all beautiful ways in which that you can help support yourself through this week, along with using your beautiful oracle cards to be able to, choose a question. If there's something that you're unsure of, remember your oracle cards are like mirrors that reflect back what's going on internally. So if you're unsure of what it is that is the information that's coming through, or what your lesson is, or what you can do to surrender and release underneath this full moon, then shuffle your cards and ask the questions, because the questions, the answers that come back through your oracle cards are a direct message from your soul and from within. And as you know, this week's energy forecast is all about going within. So utilize your beautiful spiritual tools and practices that help you connect more intently with that infinite wisdom that is within you. So I wish you an incredibly amazing week ahead. Much love. Take care. And don't forget to click and subscribe or share this or tag it for other people to be able to receive this message and share this around, so that all of us on a collective consciousness are all supporting each other when we get to share wisdom to be able to help people through times that can be considered to be a little bit challenging. So see you later and have a fabulous week.